Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a quilt as you go scrap block that I will then turn into a Holland Pouch by Center Street Quilts. Hi, I'm Katie, a modern quilter, and I love talking all things sewing. So let's dive into the scrappy quilt as you go Holland Pouch. First things first, what we need to have today in order to do the scrappy quilt as you go Holland Pouch. One is a fat quarter. I've already trimmed this down to the size I want to make, which is the medium Holland Pouch. Then you'll want to have some soft and stable or even scrap of batting if that's what you want to use or have on hand. And then I have a bunch of leftover jelly roll strips that are from a jelly roll. So I might as well use them up to make a nice scrappy quilt as you go panel for my Holland Pouch. The other thing you're going to need is your sewing machine, thread. I have an ironing station set up right here. So that way I can just make sure to press everything. If you don't want to have an ironing station set up right next to you, you can also use a foundation paper piece roller, which will just make the seams nice and flat. You'll also need to purchase the Holland Pouch pattern from Center Street Quilts, which is going to be available down in the notes. All right, first things first. I'm not going to fully lay out everything, but I know for sure, I think I only have one of these yellow strips or these gold strips. I'm going to run that, if you can see on the camera there, from corner to corner. And that's going to be my first strip that I'm going to put down. And I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim that so I don't have that massive tail at the end. And the nice thing about this is you can just go ahead. I've got a little scrap bin over here. And we'll sew it down with our next one. So this is going to be anagram from Kimberly Kite at Ruby Star Society. And I'm just going to go with different, kind of swap it up variety wise and keep contrast a little different. My patterns are different. I've got blues, I got that one strip of gold, some white, navy, pinks. And my next thing I'm going to do is lay right sides together. My next jelly roll strip on, and then I'm going to trim it, toss that into my scrap bin, and now I can start sewing. Okay. I'm going to just be going winging this as I go. I'm not going to be doing any type of pre-planning. As you can see, I've got a green inside. I thought it'd be fun to have something different in there, and also it just seemed to be the largest piece I had in my scrap bin. So why not use what you have rather than having to buy something new? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get this under my sewing machine. And I'm just going to be following the edge of my foot, my presser foot, and I'm just making sure I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. Here we are. The one thing I do like about Annie's Soft and Stable is it kind of grabs the fabric, so I might not even have to press, to be honest, because it does that so well. All right, I'm going to try to grab a pink. Lay that on top. And then grab my scissors again. Here, I got my quilted piece that's all scrappy. It's nice and diagonal plaid on the back. What I'm going to go ahead and do is now follow the Holland Pouch instructions. I'm not going to share anything dimension-wise. That is why you buy the pattern, because Christina does a fabulous job at writing them out. Super simple. I was never a big pouch person or zipper person for sewing. I was always a bit fearful about it, but after I met her and talked to her and read the Holland Pouch, I was like, oh, I've got this. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this up to the dimension that she specifies as a medium pouch in her design, and then go from there. And there you have it. From here, you're going to follow so what I did was made that lovely scrap block using just a fat quarter along with Annie's Soft and Stable, and then using some scraps. I just had extra jelly roll scraps laying around and made my pouch, or made the panel to make the pouch, and then went ahead and followed the Holland Pouch for the medium size. The only alteration I made was I just do one handle. I don't need two. I don't really go for that. And then also I made some of the seams a little bit smaller.